The first thing we're going to do is put in a hint, and this is not a piece of code. This is just something to help us understand when we look at the code what is actually going on, rather than just pages and pages of kind of gibberish. So a convention for that is to use the backslash button. So 3 of those. It goes green. Green tells you that it's not a piece of code, it's not actually doing anything, it's just text. So we're going to type in movement, so we know what we're coding. And we're going to put in another hint and up. So we're going to code the movement for the object moving up. And what we're going to use is called an if statement. So this is a question, basically. And the question we're asking is, if a particular key on the keyboard is pressed, then do something. So we start the if statement with if, and then what the question is. So it's, we're going to put in a keyboard check. And this is a function that checks the keys on the keyboard. And type in key, and that rather usefully brings up this help menu, and it gives you all the functions there. So what we're looking for is just this keyboard check function. There are lots of other keyboard check functions. We're just going to use this one, and I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just going to basically, when we come to coding, just go through what we need to use. So you can just double click on that, and that brings up the keyboard check function. Next, we need to specify the key that's being checked, and that needs to go in brackets. So Shift 9, and I won't go into this in full detail, but we need to type in ORD, brackets again, and the key in speech marks. So the key we want is W, because we're going to use a WASD configuration, and W is going to send us up. Make sure you do it in capitals, in uppercase, because it doesn't work in lowercase. Close the brackets, and then close the brackets again. So now that's saying if the W key is pressed, do something. Okay, and what we want it to do has to go in curly brackets. So it's open brackets first, drop down one again, and to make it move, we're going to deal with the vector, or the X and Y axis. So X runs horizontally, Y goes vertically. So if we're moving up, then we're dealing with the Y axis. So Y equals, and then it's a little thing in brackets here, so brackets again, normal brackets, not curly brackets, Y minus 8 pixels. So let's explain how this works. So Y is the current position of the player, and we're going to decrease the Y value by 8. Okay, so basically the numbers work. So 0 is the top left hand corner, and then going up to the bottom of the screen. So Y, that's why it's a negative number. It's minus to go up, plus to go down. And we end this little expression with a semicolon. And then we close the brackets, curly brackets. So I'll just explain that one more time. So if, so that's the question, if the keyboard is checked, W key, then do this. And it's binary, it's a logic thing, so it's either on or it's off. So if it's on, then do this every step of the game. So this will move us up 8 pixels. So what we need to do now is copy that and duplicate it and change the vector and change the key. So I'm just going to select all that with the mouse button pressed, Control C, Control V, change that to down. And the keyboard key we're going to use for down is going to be S. Let's change that to S. And instead of -8, we're going to +8. And duplicate it again. This time we're going to go right, and the key for right is going to be D. And this time we're using the x-axis. So instead of y, put x. And because we're going right, we're increasing the x-axis, so that's going to be +8 pixels. And finally, we're going to move down, left. And the key for left is going to be A. X-axis again, so X. And we're going backwards, so -8 pixels. And that's a really simple code for movement using WASD keys. So once we've done that, we might as well have a go at testing it. So click on the tick box to confirm. Before we can test it, however, we need to create a level to test it in. One other thing about this movement code we just created, it does allow us to do 8-way movement. Because of the way the step event works and the keyboard check works, we can press multiple keys. So if you can go up and go left at the same time, so you can go diagonal. Okay, there are lots of different ways of coding movement, and they have different effects. This is a very, very simple method.